Hey everyone, this is Matthew. You're at the Hub, and I'm with Angelique. Angelique is a yoga student, a yoga teacher, all sorts of things, dancer, all these things. And this is one of the segments that's going to be one of our ongoing segments that are putting a face on people's stories and also about what it's like to do yoga with anybody. So Angelique, how long have you been practicing yoga in total?
Oh, boy. In earnest, I've been practicing for 18 years.
Where did you start?
I started at Brian Kest's studio in Santa Monica in 2002.
So were you living in Santa Monica?
Yeah.
What were you doing out there? I just can't even imagine. Tell the truth.
Living the dream.
Really?
If I felt like I was. I was studying aerial at the time, just as as a workout, and then I decided to do yoga to become more flexible. And Brian Kest had a studio out there in a huge. He was actually doing an donation-only class in this huge dance space, and it was packed, and there was like an inch between each person. And I would go there, or he had another studio closer to the water, and I go there sometimes.
If you don't know who Brian Kest is, he's a fabulous power yogi.
Oh my gosh!
One of the really big innovators early that taught thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But it's an intense physical workout too.
Yeah.
So you're out there. So when you say aerial, people might not know what you mean by aerial.
I was doing trapeze and silks, and at the time I was just doing it as a workout. It was this new thing back then, and then after a few years, they asked me to start teaching, and then I started performing, doing that.
And when you say silks, of course, you're used to the lingo.
The climbing. People say curtains.
Curtains, ropes, but they function as kind of ropes, but they're silk.
They're
silk. They look good,
yeah.
and they're pretty colors. And
well, they're not really silk, but yeah.
Going, and you're way up in the air, and you're doing amazing moves that look incredibly graceful.
Yep, and then you do some drops, and you tie yourself up, and you do.
So you went there in 2002. Is that what you were seeking, or did you end up in Santa Monica so you're living the cool life?
No. Well, I was there. I was in L.A. I moved to L.A. after San Francisco because the dot-com boom made it impossible to live in San Francisco anymore. And in L.A., I was an actor, and I was kind of getting a little bit tired of that grind. And at that time, I was sort of moving over into performing as an aerialist, so it was working out really nicely that way.
So this is all new information for me. This is making me really smile. I've known her for years, and I'm being really happy right now. So you were an actor. You're trying to act in, what were you doing? Trying to catch on.
I had a theater company there with some girlfriends. It was an all-women's theater company called Toxic Shock Stage. So we were very serious about our craft. Yes. And I was doing some commercial shoots. Sorry, my mouth is really dry.
Yeah.
I was just going out on commercial auditions and that kind of stuff.
So give me the name of a show that you did on Toxic Shock Stage.
We did a show about body issues called Under It All. We did a show about relationships called The F Word. We did a show about our moms called The Mom Show. We did a show, we did one called The Sex Show, and you can imagine what that one was about.
Really?
That was a lot of fun. And that was kind of bordered on performance art just a little bit. We did a show, then we did a complete divergence from anything. It was a show called Bloodbath, and it was all in gibberish. It was a musical, and it was great. I had so much fun doing that one, yeah.
And how many people were in the theater company?
There were, 8 to 10 women, and then we'd have people kind of filter in and out as we needed.
So are you talking like mid-20s to mid-30s, or how old are you when you're doing this?
I was in my 30s at that time, yeah.
And And what made you then move from Santa Monica?
I had a roommate, and we both decided we wanted to live alone. And it was at that time, Santa Monica was becoming expensive. So I had to move to Culver City, and
Which is a bizarre place in Southern California.
yeah. And then it was just getting so hot there. I think it was the beginning of my wanting to get out of LA.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did you always want to be an actor growing up?
I was kind of always doing it. My dad was in theater before he became a surgeon. He spent about a year touring with a theater company in India. And then when I was growing up, he was a director of the Bharatiya temples, like their community theater, really. And so he always cast me in those little plays.
Did you go to school for any acting or just do it? Just did it?
I was a super shy kid. I was
Really?
so shy. Yeah, I didn't start doing it again until I was in my 20s, and I moved to San Francisco. Yeah.
So kind of as you're transitioning out of the LA dream of acting, you started to do Ariel more?
I was doing Ariel. I moved here in 2008, and I was doing Ariel, and I was doing some cabaret stuff with some people I met out here. We had a company called Blue Phoenix Circus Troupe, and then my friend Kenny Kaiser was doing regular cabaret shows at the old Arizona, and so I would just like invent characters and do them there.
So then, and then we're going to shift a little bit towards what happened, but then it was through Ariel that you got injured, right?
Yeah.
And but you're back in Minnesota, in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
What was the year?
2012.
All right, so so you always wanted to be an actor as a little kid, even though you're really shy.
Yeah.
You went and moved. How long were you living in LA and San Francisco total? So you're a California girl for 15 years. Between about what ages?
Oh my God.
Just guess.
Somebody do a math. Like 35 to 30 to 42 or something like that.
So 20, and
29 to 40.
Would you look back at those years happily?
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Yep. And then you move back, and then life changes.
I'm sorry, my mid-20s.
Mid-20s. No, I didn't think that made sense. Mid-20s to 30s, and then you move back, and life changes.
Yeah.
But to find out more about that, you got to catch us on the next show at the Hub. Hear more about Angelique's story going forward. Till next time. Hey, I'm back. If you liked what you saw, there's more coming. To keep up with new releases, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on your notifications.